Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Daybreak, and welcome back to another Daybreak reaction video. I want to say one thing. I very much apologize for the last video being delayed. I recorded it. It was late at night when I recorded it because I had work the day before, and I was just completely delayed. And actually going ahead, editing it, making a thumbnail, all of that. I just got completely sidetracked, delayed. All of that. It should be out now, hopefully. I've actually uploaded it. And there should be either this is the second video I'm uploading today, or it's the first video I'm uploading. The first video I'm uploading today, and there will be a second reaction later on in the day. I'm going to get caught up with that. So there's going to be two uploads today. I just don't know. I don't know yet if this is the second upload or the first upload, but you'll see. You'll know. You'll see. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Time to unleash Chrysbor and Waspivy. So Chrysbor, I assume that's a Nexus form of Chrysor, the Wind Elestral, and Waspivy. So we already obviously have Waspivy. I assume this is going to be a Poison Tunic reveal. All right, sorry about that this weird cut. I stopped talking because I heard something, and then I felt something. I don't know where this came from. A screw fell out of my headset, and I don't think it's a part of my headset. I don't know what it's a part to, but it's yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know how it got there. I don't know any of that. But yeah, there was a screw in my headset for some reason. Either way, let's get into this video.
It's time to reveal one of my absolute favorite Daybreak cards as we count down 25 days of Daybreak.
Dan has been loving the Waspivy deck. It's not good right now, just because we don't have Poison Tunic. We'll see what Poison Tunic does.
Webcam tournament. Go to play.elestrals.com.
Beautiful,
and you can
beautiful.
Sign up. It's tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Crazy prizes. All right, Earth.
Oh, that is true. It is
Get
tomorrow,
yourselves
isn't
ready.
it?
We got some new additions to the lineup here.
That's a recording.
First up is Mudlet, the Nexus form of our good friend Sorlet. This is a 3 attacker with 3 defense, and it has a really cool receive effect. When this Mudlet receives 1 or more Earth Spirit, you can change the position of an Elestral. What this means is that when it's cast to the field, you can change any Elestral on your field to a different position. But what's further than that is when you Nexus to it, or it receives a spirit from a card like Altar of Stars, it can actually really pop off because you can change positions.
I'm trying to like decide
I have a feeling
whether or
Mudlet
not
is going to like Mostation quite a bit, and there's another card that's going to pair with Mudlet that we're going to talk about.
I'm trying to really decide and pinpoint whether or not that's actually good. I feel like it is, but it doesn't seem like something you want to use your normal cast on. If there is a way to special cast it from deck or hand or anywhere, really, if you can special cast it in some way, maybe. But it doesn't seem amazing to use your normal cast on. So as of right now, I don't think it's very good.
Out here shortly.
But we'll see.
Of course, Mudlet does ascend into Chrysbor.
Chrysbor. That is a sick looking card, I'll say.
7 attacker with 5 defense, 2 earth, with an earthquake-like effect where you can expend 2 earth spirits to target an opponent's
It's a walking earthquake.
You suppress that Elestral, and then you just destroy it.
That's walking EQ.
Is a keyword that means you shut off their effect. So you're going to basically turn off their effect and then destroy them, which is pretty bonkers if we want to be honest here. You do have to target them, but nonetheless, Chrysbor offers some incredible,
that is true.
Like I said, earthquake-like destruction.
But the thing about that, there are a lot of well, I shouldn't say a lot. There actually aren't that many, but there are cards in the game. For example, stuff like Shivaror that say they cannot be. Well, that says can't be targeted by your opponent's rune effects, so that's a little bit different. But there are cards that say can't be destroyed by card effects. If you suppress that effect, it can now be destroyed. So it's that bypasses that. The issue is that it's a 2 cost, and not obviously. And Earth has not really been known to go into 2 cost Elestrals. Latagon is like the only 2 cost or more Earth Elestral that sees any sort of play. We'll see with Waspivy. Waspivy, maybe this could be teched in Waspivy. I don't think it's good enough to go into now, but that has a lot of potential. and we'll see what it's
It's
like.
gonna be big in Earth decks. I teased a little bit about Mudlet and some combo pieces there, and I'd like to introduce a new counter rune, Bloom.
Oh, I thought it was Poison
One of my
Tunic.
favorite
Counter
cards in the
rune.
game up to this point has been Altar of Stars because of the unique gameplay and plays that you can
Interesting.
make while in the battle phase and throughout the game, and Bloom is going to add to that in another way for Earth decks. You can Nexus one Earth Spirit.
That isn't bad.
If you do, you may enchant an Earth Spirit to an Elestral on your field. This seems like a very simple effect at first glance, but when you pair this with Receive Elestrals, there is infinite possibilities. I'm gonna leave you with this one. If you cast out a Clovey, you get to draw a card from its Receive effect. If you then play Bloom and Nexus from Demeter onto Clovey, you get to draw an additional card. Then you can use the second part of Bloom's effect.
That is
to
how it
put
works.
Another spirit
Oh
onto
my
your
God,
Clovey
you draw
and draw
first.
a third card. I'll let you guys think of some really cool combinations with.
No, he's talking about that with Clovey. I'm sorry. I'm not thinking of Clovey. Oh, wait, no. No, never mind. I misinterpreted. I forgot what an effect did. I was thinking Equal Links, but Equal Links needs to Nexus itself in order to pop a rune. I was thinking it would if it receives a rune, if it receives a spirit. But no, if that worked that way, that would be unbelievable. But okay, Clovey I think is probably the correct one. Mudlet maybe. It doesn't seem amazing for Mudlet because Mudlet you probably just don't want to change that many that many positions of Elestrals. Granted, I have just thought of a use case for Mudlet. Most of the time, you want to put your opponent's Elestrals in defense position because typically, if they're attacking with an Elestral, they typically have a higher attack than defense. Stuff like Cryovern. Obviously, when he has 4 defense, a lot of things can attack over that. Viserys in base set was a very good example of this. Very big attacker, but only 2 defense. So if you put that thing in defense, base it, and if it gets special cast, people just try to deal with the defense position Viserys just to get it off the field so that you have less attack on that first Viserys. Ignore that. That's me rendering the previous episode. It just finished rendering. But with Mudlet, that allows you to do that during your turn. It allows you to do it proactively rather than retroactively with like stuff like Tsunami, which I think that and also are like the only 2 cards I think change positions of Elestrals. That is not bad. It has a lot of potential. I still don't think it's worth your normal cast, but it could potentially work out if you have like a Viserys on your board and you just need to deal with something that has like 10 attack, but only like 2 defense, something like that. If you're in a position like that, I think Mudlet can be actually pretty decent, but we'll have to wait and see.
The Bloom when Daybreak drops. I am not done there. I told you.
Yeah,
guys
come on, give us Poison Tunic. Poison. What is Poison Tunic?
None other than Poisoned Tunic.
It's an artifact.
It was teased in Cyanectar's effect in.
Whoa! Hang on. When a player casts Poison Tip Arrow, Poison Nectar, or Poisoned Tunic, special send the side nectar to a Wasp Biffy from your hand. Okay, yeah. When you cast Poisoned Tunic, what if you cast it onto the side nectar? Does it say?
And I have said many times on live streams that Wasp Ivy is going to become a dominant threat in the metagame. I was not kidding. Now is the time in Daybreak for Wasp Ivy to shine. Poison Tunic provides you with a quick play way to get Wasp Ivy onto the field with Cyanectar because you're able to play artifacts right on your turn. The Empowered Elestral gets -2 attack. When the Empowered Elestral is destroyed in battle, its controller must expend 2 spirits.
I understand. I understand what he's saying. I understand what this is supposed to do. I'll let him finish and then I'll talk about it.
Play Cyanectar. You empower Poison Tunic to your opponent's Elestral, you ascend into Wasp Ivy, and then you destroy their Elestral, and they take damage from Poison Tunic. This card's gonna change the game, and don't forget about the combination
that is
possibility
true.
with Argo, the new counter rune we revealed a few days ago. I can't express enough.
All right, so I get that. That is not bad, I will say. Actually, let me double check something. Okay, Wasp Ivy has 8 attack. The issue that I'm seeing with this, and he brought up something different. What I expected was him to say, put Poison Tunic onto your Wasp Ivy so that when it's destroyed in battle, your opponent takes 5. But that's not what he said. I wasn't even really thinking about putting this on your opponent's Elestrals, which, granted, is not bad. That realistically is not bad. I actually don't hate that. And I actually might play Waspivy as well. I'm also seeing Poison Tunic is a uncommon. It is not a rare. Kind of interesting if I'm being honest. But I've pulled a playset of Waspivy. I'm pretty sure I pulled a playset of Cyan Nectar, so I can definitely play this. With the exception of I don't really have PTAs. I obviously have a playset of PTA, but I have a bunch of different decks that are all running PTA, and it's just so there's only two ways to my knowledge. Yeah, Shattered Stars, which is not even a guarantee. And the Centaur Harbor starter deck. Those are the only ways currently to get PTA, unless I'm forgetting one, which I don't think I am. Pretty sure those are the only ways to get PTA. I'm really hoping in Daybreak we get another starter deck that includes PTA. Please do that, Dan. Please give us a PTA reprint. We are in desperate need of one. That is the one counter rune that is sort of not available. But this is interesting for a lot of different reasons. I talked about Waspivy in my Is Frostfall Good video, and I said that Waspivy was not good. And the reason I said it wasn't good is because the Waspivy was way too easy to out. This card is Waspivy is fodder for rest on your laurels. That is all this card is. It is fodder for resting on your laurels because it only gets its effect when your opponent destroys it in battle. It does not get its effect if your opponent destroys it by card effect. So, as a result, and since a lot of more decks are playing resting on your laurels as just a removal spell, that made it so that Waspivy wasn't very good. And my assumptions came to be true. It has not seen any play. Granted, we haven't had a tournament, but no one's really playing it. No one's saying this deck is good in any way, shape, or form. And there's a lot of different issues with it. Do I think Poison Tunic is going to change that? Well, for starters, Poison Tunic does not. Okay? Poison Tunic absolutely does not change the fact that Waspivy is still resting on your laurels fodder. If anything, it's even more so. Because if you go Argo into Poison Tunic with a Waspivy on board, you now have, because if you would go, not Waspivy, sorry, Cyan Nectar. You go Cyan Nectar into the Waspivy, you now have 4 spirits on board. That just makes it easier for your opponent to hit you with the resting on your laurels. Granted, you do need to draw the resting on your laurels. And I will also say its second effect is very, very good. It's unaffected by counter runes if it's ascended from Cyan Nectar. That is very, very good. That effect is really good. My only concern, if that first effect said battle or card effect, I think it would be really, really nice. I don't think it's good enough. And Poison Tunic does not help that. The plus side to this strategy now is that not only is it easier to get Waspivy out into the board, because not only do we have an additional target for Cyan Nectar, we also have Argo, which can cast it from deck. So we basically have 2 additional targets, which just increases the consistency a hefty load. However, I will also say, one of my main issues with Cyan Nectar, I will say, it mentions, obviously, Poison Tipped Arrow, Poison Nectar, Poison Tunic. Poison Tipped Arrow, Poison Tunic. I will say, PTA obviously is PTA. We all know PTA. It's a good card. People are playing that at 3 in Waspivy decks. Poison Tunic will likely be seen as a 3 of in this deck. I think that's pretty safe to say. The card's not bad. Poison Tunic is not a bad card. I did not expect him to use it in the way he was using it. That is not bad by any means. It gives any Elestral you cast -2 attack, and when it's short in battle, your opponent takes 2. The controller takes 2. But likely your opponent, because I think it's supposed to be a card that you cast into your opponent's Elestrals. I wasn't thinking of it like that. But with that in mind, I do think Poison Tunic is a good card. I think it will be seen play. The issue is that realistically, Poison Nectar is not a good card. Poison Nectar, for anyone who does not know, it's a counter rune that says when your opponent activates a card or effect that allows them to draw a card, negate the activation and destroy the card. That realistically only has any sort of game plan against fruits specifically. That only works against fruit. No other deck is really drawing cards. People are not playing Nectar of the Gods. They are not playing that. This Poison Nectar only has genuine, like, it only really works against fruit. And I will say, if we're butting these two decks together with all the new support, I think Waspivy takes it because they have access to Poison Nectar, but that allows them to destroy the Jataya with just a simple counter rune. But with every other matchup, it's not doing anything. No one's drawing cards by card effects. What exactly are like the good cards in the format that draw cards? Granted, in Daybreak, there might be a lot more. We haven't seen all of Daybreak, but so far in Daybreak, no card has drawn cards. The targets for this would be Nectar of the Gods, which we already talked about, Jataya, which we've already talked about, Cornucopia, which is just another fruit card, and what? Clovey, which no deck's playing? There aren't targets for this. There realistically aren't, which makes Poison Nectar not really good. PTA, obviously really good. Poison Tunic, obviously very good. I don't think, to be fair, I'm not the one doing the testing. I'm not the one testing Daybreak. They've obviously had a ton of testers. They've seen the power that this card brings. I currently am not seeing anything too impressive. I think it has potential to be a meta deck. In fact, I think it will be a meta deck. I do think getting a Waspivy out... Where's the Waspivy? Where's the Waspivy? No, where's the Waspivy? Waspivy, there you are. I think Waspivy is a great card. This card is very, very good. Again, the only issue, destroyed by card effect, it does nothing. Rest in Your Laurels is going to be played every deck's playing 3 copies of Rest in Your Laurels in the side deck for Waspivy in particular. EQ probably, especially if you're going up against an Earth deck. I think Earth decks are going to struggle. I think Waspivy is going to struggle against other Earth decks because they can play Resting and EQ to just deal with the Waspivy, make sure nothing actually bad happens. Granted, this deck also has a very good matchup against other Earth decks, aka Fruits, because Fruit obviously is susceptible to Poison Nectar. It's so hard to say though. I keep saying like it has potential, but there are so many weaknesses. There are so many things that could go wrong for this deck. I expected a little bit more from Poison Tunic, and to be entirely honest, I actually completely expected Poison Tunic to be a counter rune. The fact that it's an artifact is actually kind of shocking to me. I expected this deck to be very counter rune heavy because of the fact that we had PTA, Poison Nectar, which were both counter runes. This card says it's unaffected by counter runes. I thought it was going to be a very counter rune heavy focused deck, which it still is. I just did not expect Poison Tunic to be an artifact, to be entirely honest. It's weird. It has potential. It has so much potential. I think it will see meta play. I will say that. I think Waspivy is a deck that will see meta play. Do I think it's going to be running Mudlet? No. Do I think it's going to be running Kreisboar? Probably not. Just because Kreisboar is just still too difficult to get out. We don't really have a way to get it out with ease yet. So I think there is still a lot of room for improvement. That being said, I think this deck will see meta play. I think it has a lot of potential to be one of the best decks in the format. And I think it is a very interesting deck nonetheless. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure... Actually, before I go, let me double check. Do we have anything new? Or is it just that? Mudlet, Kreisboar, Bloom. I forgot about Bloom as well, but yeah. That's all we got. Oh, crap. Whatever. That's all we got. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to subscribe, like button, and subscribe for more. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.